Alright guys, welcome to the channel on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend. I am on a body of water I have not been on in several weeks, maybe a month or two. Not exactly sure when I was over here last. But today my goal is figure out where the bass are, try to put a pattern together, and I'm actually fishing a monthly online tournament which is about to come to a close, and I really need to upgrade some bass, and we're going to see if we can do that today. I really need 19 inch bass or a bigger. So catching little fish will not help me. I need to catch some decent fish, and we're going to see if we can put a pattern together. I've got 2 days left that I can fish in this tournament before I go back to work, and I'm going to see if I can upgrade just a little bit. You guys hang out with me. I'm making a few casts. I'm about to head on down the lake, and let's see what we can get into. It's going to be a beautiful day. Alright guys, we have landed our first fish of the morning. Oh, pretty good fish. Not sure if it's gonna help me in my tournament, but man, it was fun. Got it on a frog. This water is coming down, but there are still some bass shallow. It's still deep enough to where they're still in some of the grass. So I'm gonna get this one back in the water for a minute, get set up, and I'm gonna get a measurement and see if it's long enough for me to submit to my tournament. If not, right back in the water. Hang out with me. We're gonna go down the bank, see if we can't get a bigger one. Hang with me. Alright guys, that fish was 17.5 inches long. That will call my smallest, which was a 17, but it's still not going to really help me in the tournament. I need about 4 20-inch bass today, or this weekend. So we're going to go down the bank, keep popping this frog in the edge of these weeds and see if there's some more. Maybe it was a fluke, maybe there's early morning there's a frog bite going on. We're gonna find out. And there's not a lot of wind so far this morning, so I'm not sure my spinnerbait's gonna work too good. So we're gonna work the grass. If the wind doesn't kick up a little bit, we may have to. I really thought it was going to be blowing this morning. Spinnerbait bite should have been really good, but nothing so far on the spinnerbait. There's no wind. There's not hardly a ripple on the water. So we may go to a swim jig or conventional flipping jig or a worm if the wind doesn't pick up here in just a little while. God, there's one. Oh no. Oh, he may stick with the frog. Oh me. That was a big fish. That was a really big fish. That was my 20-incher. Man. The old topwater bite will give you a freaking heart attack. Heart attack. Hang out with me. This may get good. If they're about a frog, I might get my other 4 fish today. That was a good one. Alright, my friends, we have put another bass in the boat. Definitely not going to be a cull for me today. Spinnerbait bass. It's a little fella. I've run a pretty good stretch of bank. In and out the weeds, in and out the weeds. That's my third bite on a spinnerbait. The first two came off. One was a pretty good fish, the other one was small like that. So 3 bites on a spinnerbait running the edge of the weeds. That's a doable pattern. A lot of weeds. The whole lake's got weeds. I think the bass, as the sun gets higher and higher in the sky, they're gonna stay tight to these weeds all day. So the weeds, I believe, is going to be the key to my catching fish. This hook is not the sharpest. I'm gonna see if I can locate my little sharpener, put me an edge on this bad boy where maybe I won't let any get off, and we're gonna run some more weeds and see if I can bring another bass back in the boat. Hang out with me, I'll be back. Alright guys, I think my camera's working again. Got me another spinnerbait bass. Man, when they hit this thing, they are killing it. I mean, killing it. It ain't no swiping at it this morning. It's when they hit it, they are hit. That one is stuck. I mean, stuck. Come on. Ugh. Get my new pliers. A little workout now. There we go. Alright, not a monster, not a 20-incher. We'll take it. They're all fun. You back? See ya. Alright, now we've had I've had 4 or 5 bites on the spinnerbait. So that lets me know, hey, we're in the right direction, at least for this part of the morning. The sun, I've still got lots of shade to work with. So I'm about to get into a sunny section. I'll be interested to see if my bites quit as soon as I pop back out into the sun. That's very possible. I may be on a stretch where they're keying on this shade. That happens a lot. If so, I'll try to run back down and work this again on my way back up the lake. May want to hit this with a jig on my way back up. I've come across a lot of really good looking water. Got some depth to it, got some timber in the water, a lot of stumps, and some grass. So I may want to come back and flip a jig around or cast a jig and run it along the bottom for a little bit. This poor old spinnerbait ain't gonna hold up too many more fish. It's been bent and bent and bent and rebent. But we're gonna sling it till it just comes apart. Hang out with me. Let's go get us another one in the boat. Maybe we can find us another 20-inch. Fingers crossed. guys, there's another one. Spinnerbait bite. About the same. I think that's about the same size as that last one. I have changed blades. I just about wore my other one out. I decided there's a lot of brim bedding right now, and I wanted to go with something that looked a little more like a bluegill. So I went with this one. It's actually got a gold Colorado blade. The Colorado blade's usually my dirty water blade because it puts out more vibration than it does flash, but I don't really think it matters all the time. Like I just showed you, they will hit it. It doesn't have to produce the most flash just because you got a little cleaner water. I think if you can key in on what they're actually feeding on, and I believe this lake is bluegill lake. Not as much shad population to feed on as there are bluegill, shell cracker, and probably crappie. So they're not always feeding on a shad bait. But also, my sunglasses went for a swim, so I'm out here in the middle of the day. No sunglasses on this bright, beautiful day. That's pretty good. My favorite pair too. Went for a swim. Probably won't ever find those again. Hey, that's just part of fishing. If you ain't ever lost a pair of sunglasses on the water, just give it a minute, because you will. Alright, I'm going to run some more grass lines while I can keep, and the key is that fish as well. The key is the shade. Once the sun gets up, these fish are in the shade. They're still feeding. They're still willing to bite, but they'll move over in the shade versus sitting out right in the bright sun. And that's where all my bites have been for the last hour or so. I've had a couple little ones on that I didn't show that came off, but exact same scenario. They're in the shade. That's just a common thing, and that's going to be the deal from now on until fall. And when it gets up in the daytime, you got to go chase the shade for as long as you can, and then once that shade runs out and there's no more, then you have to figure something else to do. Usually go deep, or if the water's high enough that you can punch in the weeds. A lot of times they'll still be in the weeds. Like right now, I know there's bass in the weeds. I could be punching weed beds and probably catching fish a different manner, but that's not really my favorite style. To me, it's boring. You know, if you have to do it to get a bite, hey, go, by all means, tie one on and punch away. Just not my favorite thing to do. I need to get better at it and develop confidence in it. But right now, if I can get a bite on a spinnerbait every 30-40 minutes, I'm okay with that. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm gonna work my way down this bank, and I'll let you know when we get another one. Hang in there. Alright guys, here we are. It is day 2 of this video. Hoping to capitalize on a little bit that I learned yesterday and maybe put me another good fish in the boat today, or maybe several fish in the boat today. Anyway, hang around. It's going to be another gorgeous day. Throwing a little top water this morning, about 6:30 in the morning. Man, this water's just gorgeous. Anyway, hang out. I'll show you what I get here in a little bit. Good morning. What a wake-up call I just had. Check that little fella out right there. He smashed that frog. I gotta figure out how to get all them hooks out. Wow, what a bite that was. There we go. There we go. Whew. That was a pretty good deal right there. I don't know if he's gonna be big enough to help me in my tournament, but man, what fun that is. Early morning, edges of the weeds, any lake that's got weeds, and the water's 73 degrees this morning. They're gonna be up around in them weeds. All right, I'm gonna get set up to take me a picture of this bad boy on the board, see how long he is before I get him released. Hang out, we're gonna try to get us another one. But there, oh, got one. Got one. Yeah, on a frog. Oh man, he come off at the boat. Yeah, probably about 14 inches. But it's fun when they blow up on it. Oh man, I poured water. Poured water all over my phone out of my frog. Yeah, they're in the weeds in the shade for right now.
Yep, that's where I'll be.
And I got somewhere to go after the shade gets up. How you go? Easy, big fella. Little fella. Man, that bass is white. Alright guys, with the sun up overhead, the top water bite died out, and my weed beds slowed down a little, so I had to go with the old jig, and I've had 2 or 3 bites, but until now this is the first one I actually got in the boat. See if I can get him loose. I mean, he got stuck. There we go. But that bass has got, that's a lot lighter color fish than the ones that I've been catching. Now, he's not going to be big enough for a cull. Man, you talking about some teeth. That thing's got some teeth. But he smashed that jig. All right, let's get him back. Let him go do his thing. Still got my, man, he didn't even know he was loose. Still got my little football head jig. It's a 3.5 ounce with it's green pumpkin with some orange and green on one side, trailer, blue on the other side. I don't remember what that color's called. My bad for that. But he hit it like he wanted it. So now we have given up the top water. We're trying to throw a jig. The wind is just making it crazy. So I finally found me a little area out of the wind. I'm actually fishing some big, like a bluff wall, and I've gone up and down this wall a couple of times. I had a couple of bites, like I said before, on the wall, that I missed him, and I was ready for him this time. When he hit, I jacked him, and I'm gonna go up and down this one more time and just to see, because these bites were in different places. I know it wasn't the same fish, so maybe I can entice one of those that bit earlier to bite again. When it gets tough, you got to work those areas where you got to bite. Make sure you don't leave any behind. Anyway, things are looking up. Put another fish in the boat. Just didn't get me a cull. I need about a 19 or 20 inch fish to cull. Not sure I'm gonna get those today, but it's still a beautiful day. Thanks for being out here with me, and I'm gonna go see if I can't put another one in the boat. Hang out, I'll be back. Alright guys, we got another little one. I've caught quite a few little ones today. A few good ones, mostly little ones. But at least we're getting bites. We kind of figured out how to get bites. And this is gonna pertain to all your lakes. I'm gonna say end of May, 1st of June, that has weeds, that the water temperature has not yet got hot. Here in Alabama, there are sometimes in May our water already be up in the 80s. Right now I'm showing 75. That's tolerable for bass. And right now the weeds are holding. They're the key to finding fish for the past 2 days. Frog bite has been pretty good all around, in and around the weeds in the mornings. Haven't landed a lot of fish, but I did catch quite a few on the frog the past couple of days. During the day, when the sun gets up overhead. Right now we're at about almost 3 o'clock, so it's on the downhill slide now. But midday, these fish are sucked back up to the weeds again. That's going to go with any of our weed lakes. Those bass are going to be holding in the weeds as long as the water level's high enough so they can get up in there and feel safe. They're going to have shade. It's going to be a little cooler than the main lake just because of the weeds making the shade. And how I've been catching them is when the wind's blowing me down the bank and I've got a ripple on the water, I've been throwing the spinnerbait. It's worked very well. Most of you know that watch me, one of my favorite baits is the willow leaf spinnerbait. And when the wind dies, I can go along the weed bed, the edge, and throw a jig and dot around in these edges, every little dip and cut in this line of weeds that goes all the way around the lake, and get bit. And sometimes you get 3 or 4 bites in a stretch, and you might go an hour and you won't get another bite. But if you hang tight to these 2 baits, as long as it's the same conditions. Now, we've had cloudy, we've had windy, we've had bright blue skies and sunshine, back to cloudy, back to windy, back to flat calm. It's just continually changed for 2 days. And in order to kind of stay on path, you have to kind of look at what the wind and the sky's doing, because when you got that ripple on the water, your spinnerbait bite's going to be a lot better. Flat, calm, sunny, bluebird skies, just not a great spinnerbait bite. That's when I've been going to the jig and fishing tight to the weed beds or tight to a laydown or a big tree in the water or stump or anything, something I can throw at. And when that sun goes back in and it gets cloudy again, I'm gonna pick my spinnerbait back up. Usually when the clouds come, the winds come. And unfortunately, that's how it is in the summer too. When the clouds go away, it gets baking hot here in Alabama. And that's what's been working. Just wanted to kind of run through the past day or so, and it's just held true. The frog has been a lot of fun in the mornings up till about 7:30 or 8, and off and on all day. Caught me some grass. But off and on all day, you can throw the frog in the weeds and still get bit. Just not going to be very regular. Your bites are going to be very random and far and few between. Anyway, I hope to bring another fish or two before I get gone. I've still got another hour or two left to fish. But I just had that on my mind, thought I'd go ahead and say it. And if I don't catch any other fish, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. But if I catch some more, the video's not over yet. Hang out, see what we got. Nothing yet. I believe I'm gonna go back behind you and go down this bank you just fished with my spinnerbait.
Yeah, like you go down there and get the hog.
Hog, I'm telling you, hog. I'm gonna work my way down the dog bank.
Oh yeah, I done really dog.
I tried to pet him yesterday, and he come almost up to me. He wanted me to throw something. He looks like.
Studies if somebody throws something, and he runs up and down the darn bank.
That's all he wants is to play.
Right here is where I caught them 700. Right here, that little dip right there.
Yep. Well, he wasn't in there this morning because I threw a frog in there. Less clouds and the wind, they should get to moving around again.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Oh, if I could turn them off.
Just whenever that next feeding cycle hits.
It's when you know, when the sun's out bright, they're stuck to the weeds. It's easy to find them.
Yep.
Like this, I ain't got no clue where they're at.
I think they're close to the weeds. Hey Terry, they're close to the weeds. Oh no, he broke me off. Jesus. He went straight down and it broke. I didn't even get to pull back.
Yeah, it's getting there.
God. He's,
What, about 5?
come on. He sawed that one.
What is that, sprayed or?
No, that's my fluoro. No, that's my mono. Yeah.
What do you think he was, about 5?
I thought he's about 12.
Huh?
Thought he's about 12.
About 12.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was that the other day. I guarantee he wasn't.
Look at this. He splattered water all over me, the boat. Everything's wet. Hey, that was a good one.
Now see, after I had just fished that whole friggin' log and all that other stuff, and he didn't get a bite.
You went the wrong way, I guess. I don't know. All I know is
What'd you have, a willow leaf or a Colorado?
Willa. Whoa. Broke my reel. Well, guys, I made myself out to be a liar. Just as soon as I say the frog bite's pretty much over until mornings, bam! This fish went after this frog 4 times before he actually got it, and then it falls out. Came across the weeds, he blew up, knocked it out, went back through at a different angle, he knocked it out of the water again, missed it, pulled on it. I think he grabbed the little legs on it the 3rd time, and then the 4th time was the charm, and bam! He's not going to be a call for my tournament, but boy, that was exciting to have 4 bites in one spot on the top water. That's a lot of fun. If you don't have a frog tied on your next trip, you might ought to tie one on, leave it on for a few more weeks, because man, it's getting it. That's a lot of fun. All right, let me get him back. See ya. And I'm gonna have to check my line. I have had a fish break me off today on a spinnerbait, and I almost believe that was my fault for not checking my line enough, because I had made a lot of casts. No telling what that probably went over and under and around and through. Live and learn. You gotta check your line when you're making a lot of casts, and it cost me a big fish. I even had a witness to him losing a big fish this time. But hey, when in doubt, check your line, retie. It'll save you a lot of frustration. Anyway, I gotta try to get my hooks back in my frog. You guys hang out. Maybe we'll have another fish before we go home. Don't know. Fingers crossed. Still biting.